It's the Philly alert. We got OTA practices. We find out the truth behind AJ Brown's hate for Hurt. And we're going to talk about players that need to step up this year. But first, let's check them out at OTA practices.
Joins us in the studio.
Philly, sound the alarm. From Broad Street to the Link, from the row homes to the roaring parking lots, the city is waking up in midnight green. The lights hit, the siren spins, the beat drops, and stepping through the smoke comes the voice of the fans, the energy of the streets, the boss of Bird Gang himself. This is not just another Eagles show. This is where passion gets loud, takes over the block, and flies straight through game day. We talk touchdowns, we talk trenches, we talk big hits, big plays, bold predictions, and every moment that makes Philly football different. When the helmet shines, when the crowd rises, when the whole city starts chanting, you already know what time it is. The host is locked in. The fans are locked in. The birds are on the move. From every celebration to every breaking moment, from every matchup to every message for the league, this is the place where Eagles energy lives. So turn it up, stand up, throw that green on. Let the city hear you. Because when Philly talks football, the whole world gets the alert. Welcome to the Philly Alert. Bird Gang, let's fly.
Steve Lloyd joins us in the studio now. Steve, Philly Fever live in the city of Brotherly Love tonight.
It is, Jack. This will be their 5th Super Bowl appearance. They have won world championship.
That's what they screaming when we on the field. It's like put them in the Hurt locker, but that's Hurt's locker. Saquon Barkley, that's the showstopper. The old line beat up, they some mad blocker. What you watching? The tush push, you can't stop it. Bird Gang 31, bring the hot topic. No gossip, just facts, boy, you can't copy. The podcast, we in there watching. The Philly Alert with 2 fake straight legs, got me. Never dolo, Eagles fan 81, let's go. The base show with game, if you know, you know. Like, catch, subscribe, never no bull time. If you listen once, you're hooked, we going live. Bird Gang, son, win or lose, we won. Fans and Philly gets chilly when it's said and done. If you with me, settle down, don't start tripping. The Philly Alert is on now, come on and watch with me. That's what they screaming when we on the field, it's like that's what they screaming when we on the field, it's like
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We want to drop a little something new for y'all. Let y'all see what we working with. We're going to be doing all kinds of things like this, man. What up, everybody? It's the Philly Alert. We back, baby. We back. I hope everybody's
Yes, sir.
doing today. I hope everybody having a great day, man. A great day. I'm having a good day. You having a good day, my guy?
Yes, sir. Great day, man. Great day. Hit the gym. Ready to talk Eagles football. EAGLES Eagles.
Hey,
Shout out to Two-Face Joker for that song, man. He blessed us with that song. He just hit us up, said he liked the show. He said he wanted to do a song for us. So shout out to Two-Face Joker. Appreciate that, brother.
I'm trying to figure out how we can save it without all the extra stuff at the end. We gonna work on that. You know, Bird Gang be working it.
Yeah.
But hey, man, it's mandatory OTAs today, guys. And we got a lot to talk about today, man. We're going to talk about some players that we want to see step up this year. We're going to talk about, what the players said today, what Nick Sirianni said today, which I found very interesting what Nick Sirianni said today. He basically told us what really went down with the AJ Brown situation, which I love. We got a little bit of clip. We ain't gonna play a lot of it. But we got a little bit of clip for that. And we're gonna talk about AJ Brown as a whole one more time. I know you guys don't want to talk about it, but it kind of leads us to that situation. And we're gonna see what the players have to say, man. It's been a good day here, man, because I like what I heard. I like the fact that everybody's positive about the situation. Last time it was this positive, we won a Super Bowl. So I'm liking the trend of positive messages sent by the players on the whole situation.
Oh yeah, no doubt on.
So I guess we'll start out here. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna start out talking about, the AJ Brown thing. We're gonna try to nip it in the bud. The AJ Brown thing, guys, you know what I'm saying? So make sure you guys hit that like, hit that follow, hit that subscribe. Nick Sirianni had a press conference today. We know what he said. For those who watched, if not, go check it out. And he was asked about the AJ Brown situation. He gave his flowers to AJ. AJ had a great career here, but he said some things that are pretty interesting towards the middle of the end of that press conference. You know what I'm saying? Like, press conference are pretty much just about AJ, but it made me think about a lot, this whole scenario. And I'm so happy that it's done. I'm so happy about all that. But then AJ went over to Philly, right? And when he got there, what number did he get? Number 1. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 1, the 2. And I know y'all gonna say AJ Brown was this number in college. AJ was number 1 before Jalen Hurts. And when he came over to the Eagles, obviously Jalen Hurts was number 1. He couldn't get number 1. But I think it might lie a little bit deeper than this, man. I think the question we should be asking is, was AJ jealous of Hurts? Because if you listen to his interview, he talked about how there's no drama. There's nothing wrong between them. Their friendships just kind of spread apart. And it made me think. It made me want to dig deep and think about, why would the godfather of your kid, your buddy that was there when you got drafted, you get traded to hit the team that he's on, and instead of bonding closer, you guys got separated, And the only real answer I had for that was Jalen Hurts says he's a quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's a quarterback. He's gonna get all of it. Think about the spreading apart thing. It was Jalen, since he got there, having better numbers, winning more games, and then getting catapulted to Nike, the World Games, and all these big time sponsorships and deals. Wow, AJ was still all pro bowler, but wasn't really getting nothing, and it made it worse when Saquon came, because then Saquon came and broke records that never been broke before. So of course, Saquon, you start seeing in commercials, you start seeing them in, all this stuff, all this publicity. So now you got Saquon and Jalen getting all this love, all this money, all this, fame from it. And AJ was still putting them numbers and not getting. Really, we didn't see too many commercials. I know he had that treadmill commercial or whatever, but we didn't see too much action going his way. And I think, personally, just me speaking, he was jealous. He was jealous. And he wanted it to be about him. So before I get your response on that, let's listen to what Nick said, during his press conference. The little clip I wanted to show you guys.
It can look a lot of different ways, but it is so important that we all understand that we have a shared mission and that we need each other to go about to get to where we want to go. We need each other, not in this sport. can we do it alone?
Did you see it? It was playing? Because on my end, it said it wasn't playing.
Play it again. It's playing.
It can look a lot of different ways, but it is so important that we all understand that we have a shared mission and that we need each other to go about to get to where we want to go. We need each other. Not in this sport. Can we do it alone? If you want to do it alone, you got to pick another sport.
When he said that, it made me realize everything we thought about AJ Brown was true. That was the most respectful way you can break it down to everybody to let them know the scenario that was happening behind the scenes without throwing nobody under the bus. Like AJ was good, but if you want to do things alone, you better find a new sport, he said. What do you take from? Did you watch the whole press conference, or what do you take from Nick Sirianni?
Yes, I did, and in this era of AI, we've been using it a lot. I put it in co-pilot today. AJ Brown attitude. AJ Brown's attitude has been a recurring topic in the NFL, especially during his time with the Philadelphia Eagles. Reports and fan reactions paint a picture of a player who is outspoken, self-assured, and at times confrontational. When Brown was traded to the New England Patriots in June 2026, he stopped by the Eagles facility to pick up belongings and say goodbye. There he signed a picture of himself on the wall and added the message, "The best to ever play here, always open." Now, who in their right mind would do that? The last thing you're going to say to your teammates is just like, "Hey, I'm the best to ever do this, the best to ever play here. Always open." You're saying that you're better than Terrell Owens right now. You're saying you're putting yourself in the Hall of Fame. You're just saying that it was all about me and nobody else. You're saying that you're better than Saquon. You're saying that you didn't have one of the greatest offensive lines in the last 20 years. You're just taking all the accountability. That's the problem with AJ. It goes on to say Brown has been unapologetic about voicing frustration when he feels the team isn't meeting his expectations. Notice it never said winning. It said when the team isn't meeting his expectations. And I've been listening to a lot of Philly podcasts, and everybody's talking about this one thing. Who complains when your team is winning and you get $20 million a year?
Facts.
Who complains? You get $20 million a year and you winning and you complaining. One game he had 4 receptions for 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he literally said, "I didn't get the ball enough."
Yeah.
I mean, think about that. 4 receptions. You averaging 31 yards per catch, per reception. And the only thing you can say is "I didn't get the ball enough." Because you only had 4 passes, you had 2 touchdowns. You scored 50% of the time you got the ball in your hands, and you still complaining. I mean, what type of that's toxic if I don't know it.
Hitman says it best. AJ's a mental case. You gotta be a mental case to have all that success.
What's up, Hitman?
If you wasn't getting paid, that's one thing. You got paid. We broke the bank for you twice, my guy. And you still, that's what made me believe, all of you guys been watching our clips, that it was some at-home type stuff, man. That was really, she was locking down clamps on him. That's how what I'm saying? Like, we got to go. Do what you got to do to get to where we got to get to, but we got to go. He's the greatest player here, always open. But to his point, is he? I would say yes. Like TL, yes, Hall of Famer, one of the best receivers of all time, right?
Yeah.
But he only had 1 year. AJ's been dominant for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? And that could put him there, but it doesn't, all I say is after Devontae has this year, we're going to be talking about this situation of him being the best. And I think it's kind of a slap in the face, too, to Devontae.
Yeah. It's going to make the whole offense angry.
Smitty's supposed to be your boy, but you want to go write that message when you leave, coming up, picking up your last, by saying bye to all the players, and you walk out, you were the best ever to be here. You know what I'm saying? Like, always open. You weren't always open, my guy. A lot of those passes, I think Jalen Hurts and you guys had a lot of tight window passes that Jalen put it up only where you can get it. It wasn't that you were the best separator in the world. You were just physical, and you made sure you
Yeah,
came with the ball. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, you weren't
it
always
is.
open. You're just a big, strong, country boy that can go out there and, impose your will when it comes to receiving the football. And you weren't just like head and shoulder. You weren't like a Devontae Smith. I'm gonna say it. You weren't like a Devontae Smith, where your route running is what makes you wide open. Okay, and
But
now
the
I'm
weird thing about AJ is he can run the route tree. If
again,
AJ Brown suited up every game and got out his own way, he'll be the best receiver in the NFL. If he literally came to Philly with a winning mentality, with a team mentality, I mean, look at what he did with a screwed up mentality.
yeah,
I mean, he had a loser's attitude, and look at what him and Jalen Hurts accomplished. And I
thanks.
mean, we all know. I mean, just imagine if he would have been really locked in. Imagine if he would have caught those two balls last year in the playoff game. Might have went back to the Super Bowl.
Thanks.
Imagine like, hey, a lot of these problems with the offense last year, it might have not been play calling. It was AJ Brown. Who's to
Thanks.
say that AJ was running the right routes? Who's to say on the checkdowns that AJ wasn't changing, telling Hurts, I'm not going to run that. I'm going to run what I want to run.
Sources said that we heard AJ did it on purpose.
Yeah.
He sabotaged his quarterback. If I'm a New England Patriots fan, I don't know if you guys watch Asante Samuel's podcast. Man, shout out to Asante Samuel, one of the best, cornerbacks ever to play in the Midnight Green. But he was talking about this jealousy stuff, and that's what really wanted to get me to come on here and talk about it a little bit with you, because he was just like we said, there's no way you can have all this success individually and team wise and still be the problem, And he's hoping that him going to New England realizes that they're gonna have to end any of that if he starts getting unhappy. Like, he's gonna play good in the beginning, but what's those games where say he doesn't get the targets he wants? What's those games that he's not producing? They're winning, but he's not producing at the level. They got to learn to nip that at the bud, because as a player, and as Nick Sirianni said, it's a team sport.
Yeah.
Not one man's an island. AJ Brown didn't make this football team, guys. It was a collective effort. AJ, Smitty, Goddard, Saquon, Hurts, offensive line. You know what I'm saying? And all those different people, the defense, and all those different positions and people is what make us a dominant football team. And that's why I'm sitting here now. We were 96 days away from the opening season. I'm telling you, the Eagles are better off right now without that cancer on his team than we were with him.
Kudzu. Yeah.
Kudzu. Straight up.
Yeah, Kudzu. Choking out the team, man.
The morale is higher.
Yeah.
We got a new offense that everybody's telling me that this is, like, you heard Milo, he's a mad genius, mad scientist, he said. This guy's genius in terms of how he's setting things up. We're about to see what we want to see the whole time. Even during the Super Bowl years, we're about to see something better than Kellen Moore's offense. We're about to see something better than Shane Steichen's offense. Because guess what? It's all those offenses put together with motion, with play setting up. And we can't be this many months where the team and the players has been together and you're hearing the kind of outpour, like, yeah, I guess you could try to talk up your coach. But we're not that city. We're not those aren't the players that actually just talk you up for no reason. You heard Jalen Hurts talk about KP when KP was coordinator. He's like, it's a new position for him. He's gonna have to earn it. He's gonna have to go out there and show us. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna go from there. But everybody is saying, dude, this guy's crazy. Like this guy, he understands what he's doing. We're doing it. We're practicing new things that we never practiced before. We're setting up things in ways that we've never done before. And if you're an Eagles fan, that would excite the hell out of me. You know what I'm saying? Excite the hell out of me because it's what we've been waiting for at the end of the
You
day.
think about this, the Eagles can put Saquon in the backfield. They can set you up in four wides. They can go Wicks and Smitty on one side. They can go Lemon and Hollywood Brown on another side.
Woo.
They can stack you up now. So we can stack these two receivers over here. So we can run these bubble screens. You think about the tight ends that we have. So, you never know what's going to happen. So now when it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5, 3rd and 8, you got options. It's not like, and then, the play action, because now Hurts is going to be up on the center. And we all know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when that ball, when he is able to use his legs and when he is able to throw people open, and when these guys are going to be coming across the field, man, they're going to be butt naked wide open. Because you're not gonna know who to cover. And we all know this is what's gonna happen. Until we trade that 28 first-round pick, AJ's name will be brought up when the Eagles are mentioned. You're right. 803 hit, man. You are right. And he's gonna be mentioned a long time. About like T.O.
I don't know.
Did y'all watch the T.O.? Anybody in the chat, did y'all watch the T.O. interview where he was talking about him and McNabb, and he was talking about the A.J. Brown situation? And, he was talking about his tenure in Philly and how he was even shocked how the fans showed him love. So it's not like A.J. wasn't getting love. Even T.O. gets love. And we all know how him and McNabb, how their relationship ended. So if you don't work out in Philly and you are all pro, something's wrong.
Something's wrong with you. And, that pick right there, Hitman, to that point, there is some rumors circulating right now that the Eagles, and that's what I want to ask you, do you think the Eagles need to do this? The Eagles are looking to package some picks together and match the Rams move and go get Crosby.
I don't think they need to do that right now. Because if the offense does what it's supposed to do, they'll be fine. The defense doesn't have to be on the 85 Bears. I mean, you don't need all that firepower. Let Fangio do what Fangio does. I feel like we got enough, even with the departures. I feel like we have enough on the defensive side of the ball to be very competitive. And I mean, we're going to have to outscore some people. But, it's normal in the NFL for you to score 21 to 28 points in a game. Like, that's become normal now. Like, you're going to give up 2 or 3 touchdowns in a game. I mean, that's just become the new norm. So I feel like we have enough for what we've heard in OTAs. I feel like we have enough. I'm going to pull up while you talking. I'm going to pull up the picks that may be available in that 2028 draft. I'm going to see what we got out here.
Hell yeah, that'd be what's up. And before that, let's let an old former Eagle, and I'm gonna tell you, he's one of my favorite Eagles of all time, man. He was never the superstar receiver, but he was the most clutch slot receiver we ever, to play in that midnight green, and that's Jason Avant. Let's hear what he had to talk about.
I want to really start with the Mannion offense and the trend that's in this league and how you see it. And how you see it playing out here with Jalen.
Well, so they can't completely go to the Sean Mannion office completely because the Eagles have had success doing things different ways. But what I will say is that they're basically trying to blend Matt LaFleur and Sean McVay's basically offense because those are his two guys. They're going to try to blend that offense in with some concepts that the Eagles have had success with. And the more Jalen is comfortable with that offense and the more he can implement into it. But you're going to definitely see him, as many people have speculated, more in the center. There's going to be more play action. There's going to be a little bit more zone run scheme, not so much gap, not so much power, but there's going to be some more zone concepts where guys can thrive in that way. So I know the offensive line is going to enjoy that, because when you get all of the plays looking the same, it throws the defense off balance. And it should cause Jalen to be one of those passers that have a very high, completion percentage, but also down the field throws should go up. Down the field throws, because play action will look just the same as the run game.
And we got the receiving core to do it. Like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
we're going to do those 4 guys on the field. You got Burt, you got middle of the field, you got outside the field, still got Dallas Goedert, you got Saquon out in the backfield. Like, we going to be fine, guys. Like, we going to be fine. It says, I don't know if Max is focused enough on football. He's too busy making music videos. That's a good point. A superstar out there, living his best life. This team, if you heard the press conference from Nick, we are focused on championships and championships only. If you're going to be a player that's not focused on football right now, don't come to Philadelphia. And if you're already on a team, try to plan your exit route now, because we are the standard in the NFL right now. We're the most talked about team. We are America's team right now. And it's going to stay that way for a little while now. We got too many young, talented players out there to change that narrative. And we got one of the best quarterbacks in football. So the defense is on fire, man. The defense is on fire. We got one of the best defensive lines in football, if not the best. You know what I'm saying? We got 2 very talented linebackers, which possibly be the best linebackers in football. And then we also got the best secondary. And we're going to hear what, our boy Woolen had to say in his press conference today as well. But he's showing us over here. Check it out.
We got the depth chart right here. So I want you to think about it from OTAs today. Tank Bigsby is a hard hitter. He's a hard runner. So now Tank Bigsby and Saquon are going to be in the backfield together. They're already talking about them throwing the ball to Saquon out of the backfield. So Saquon on a screen with these big boys behind him. I mean, you talking about Lane Johnson and Maya Lotta and Landon Dickinson, Cam Jurgens, Tyler Steen, Markel Bell. These guys are hungry. This is a prove-it year for them. They're mad because the offense sucked. They have to prove to the world that, hey, we don't need AJ. Everybody, this is a prove-it year. Everybody from Hurts all the way down to the Coop, everybody is trying to prove right now, hey, we are still a championship team. This is what makes the Eagles so dangerous right now. They are under the radar. They can be good. They're either going to be great on offense or they're going to be mediocre. They're not going to be trash because you got these big hogs up front.
Right.
Saquon is going to be getting 10 to 20 touches a game. Probably, the first quarter, they're going to try to get Saquon going. If he's not going, we're going to throw Tank in. All right, let's throw Saquon in the slot. We got to get the ball in Saquon's hands. We all know he's one of the hardest players in the NFL to tackle. Let's see what we're going to do. Like, I'm excited because they're talking about Saquon and Jalen. They're already throwing. They already building a connection with throws from out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm. And, it's going to make it easier for Hurts. Like, people are like, this is going to be Hurts' best year. You know what I'm saying? Like, best year ever playing as a quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, because he doesn't have the pressure of having to throw the ball to one person. Yes, we had a bunch of receivers, but you seen what AJ did when he didn't get the ball. That puts pressure. And that was probably a part of it to strain their relationship too. Like, Jalen's like, I'm going to throw whoever's open. And AJ's like, bunk that. You throw it at me because I'm always open. And that's where they get conflict at. You know what I'm saying? That's where they can have a lot of conflict at. Where they're like, I'm open all the time. But if it's not part of the progression, and you see what happened, like, think about the first 4 games last year when Smitty was leading the team in receptions, yards, everything. Because AJ was getting, not too many receptions. Jalen Hurts was in the flow of the regular offense. We were 4-0 until, AJ caught an attitude. AJ wanted the ball more. AJ, we trying to shifted our offense to try to cater to his needs, his likings, and whatnot. Without that pressure this year, he's going to be a dangerous man. Now, I do feel like we're going to highlight Smitty. It's Smitty, and there's going to be all those other receivers, those big three, Lemon, Brown, Wick. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be schemed up for Smitty. You know why? Because he's the best route runner. You know why? Because if you scheme a guy like him up, it's going to be impossible to stop. If you're already one of the best route runners in the NFL, people already consider you the best second receiver in the NFL. The only progression is up, and now you got your up. I'm telling you guys, it's the same path as he did in Alabama.
Yes, sir. Hitman just mentioned that on 12 and 21 personnel, and I know a lot of people may not know that. Appreciate that, Hitman. So this is just a breakdown, real quick. Hey, it's the off season, so you're going to hear this terminology a lot. 12 and 21 personnel in football. First digit is the number of running backs. Second digit, number of tight ends. So basically, when he put that in the chat, he's saying we're going to have 2 tight ends on the field a lot of times. And what the Eagles always do on their roster, they carry 2 receivers that can carry 2 receiving tight ends. They carry 1 really blocking tight end. That's really what they do most of the time. And depending on the game, that's if they're going to run the ball or pass, that's who will make the 53-man roster. So, the 12 personnel, 1 running back, 2 tight ends, 1 running back plus 2 tight ends equals 2 wide receivers. A balanced attack can run power plays or pass effectively. Flexibility works in both shotgun and under center formations. So just imagine right now you got Tank Bigsby and Saquon back there. Yeah, just wanted to throw that out there right quick. Since he dropped it in the chat, we want to make sure show the chat some love.
Hey, shout out to all you guys in the chat. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, baby. We're going to be coming hot. I told you guys, BG and the Philly Alert and all the Eagles Nation, man, we're about to be on the rise this year, my guy. We're about to do big things this year. You guys just lock in, tell a friend, share the content, get it out there to everybody. Hit that hype button. You know what I'm saying? Hype and stuff up, because we are definitely about to have the best, season for any podcast out there. I'm just throwing it out there early. The best season for the best any podcast out there, man. I just know that I'm correct.
Hey, G.H. Rendall, you can't say I'm open and have run donkey routes and plays.
He's a fact. That's facts. That's facts. He didn't really honestly. Yeah, exactly. AJ quit on us, guys, and it's time for us to really understand that.
Yeah.
He quit on us, and that's his own decision. The grass is not always greener on the other side. I'm happy, because if you think about any team in the NFL that's ready for this, it's the Philadelphia Eagles. We had a number 1 already in the background there. You know what I'm saying? We had a number 1 already ready to put up the numbers, and Smitty. So this would be a lot harder for a lot of teams. You think about all the teams in their top 2 receivers. There's only about a good 5 to 6 teams out there that can honestly say that they can handle their star receiver moving on. But I think we are that team that can handle it, because of our defense, because of the star power we have on our team. And
well, I'll tell you something that says Smitty apart is his work ethic. Smitty is swole. He is jacked up now. I saw, if you saw Smitty at his basketball game,
oh yeah,
man, he's no longer that little. He's no longer the slim. No, we're gonna have to come up with a new nickname for him, because and he was calling number 1 receivers in the off season to see, hey, what is your workout resume? What are you doing?
Yeah.
I was watching the video today Lane Johnson said he went back to the facilities. In his interview, they finally talked to Lane, and he said, they were talking about asking him why he came back, and he was just going through the progressions. And he said, man, one time, I don't know why the hate is on Hurts, that one time he went back to the facilities, and it was 2 hours later, and Jalen was still in there working out.
Mm-hmm.
So Smitty and Hurts, they, coming from Alabama, they got that same work ethic. It was instilled in them to be great.
Nick Saban,
the Trim Reaper.
Grim Reaper. Let's listen to a couple of little clips here from our boy Lane Johnson. Talk about why he's coming back first. Then he's going to talk about, the new scheme with the office. Let's listen to it.
Lane, what was your decision-making process in terms of deciding to come back?
Yeah, I thought I was having a really good season last year, and there was nobody more disappointed than me not being able to come in and play to finish it out. So I didn't want to go out that way. I think as far as performance-wise, I felt like I was still performing the same as I always have. Just I had this foot injury. It was, I've been able to play through stuff throughout the years, but this was just something that it took time, and that's something that I didn't have at that point in the season. So. It was probably around February, March where I started feeling 100%. But it took some time for it to heal up. But yeah, I didn't want to go out on that note last year. Just explain. Just explain experience, and then I got to talk to a lot of the Minnesota guys. Brian O'Neill, who I respect a lot, said that was his favorite O-line coach he's had since he's been in the NFL. So. Coming from a guy like that, it didn't take me long to realize what kind of teacher he was in the classroom, even some of the remote stuff I'm doing on Zoom. Just a great teacher, so he knows how to really apply just from being as a player. The communication aspect, I think, is really good. But just this new system, I think, is the way he stresses just going to be more efficient for us. I think our run blocking angles will be more conducive. We'll be able to be in three-point stance a little bit more. Kind of what we did with Doug. If we had a tight end with us, we'd be in three-point, detached not. But, I think that helps us with some of our landmarks.
He's saying, man, he didn't want to go out like that. What I'm saying? He didn't try to leave on an injured reserve or, not playing to a top caliber. But he also understood that he was still the best tackle in football.
And then another thing, he know that he went out without that wasn't his best foot being put forward. And when he heard that this new coach was coming and with this new system, when he heard about all of these changes, it made him want to come back, because now Lane wants to put his hands on people. He wants to get out there and run block. And that's just not something that was done last year. Basically the offense was totally different from the previous years. So, hey, he's happy to be back. And he was talking about the different cadences that they're having to learn. And he admitted that it was a lot to learn, but he's up for the challenge. Because everybody, like I said, this is a prove it year, man. I'm telling you, man, the Eagles are going to be angry. That offensive line is not happy with what was put on display. That is not, we go all the way back to John Runyon, Trey Thomas. We're talking about the Eagles' offensive line has been a staple since Andy Reid, Donovan McNabb, Brian Westbrook, Deuce Staley, Burkhalter. You can sit here and name. Okay, here we go. We got I'm hearing good things about Rick Woolen. Can't wait to see him in the Fangio scheme. Go ahead, BG. That's on you.
Well, let's listen to what Reek says, because Reek is another guy that I think, it helped push Howie Hand. We're sitting here thinking, what's Cooper DeJean going to do? I know if you guys watch our show, I talked about that. Howie's going to make a decision where you're going to have to play him at outside corner or you're going to have to move him to safety, because the money's not at the nickel spot. And any smart agent's not going to let his players stay there. And any smart agent's not going to, try to negotiate a deal with your player being primarily a nickel position cornerback. You're going to have to move him outside or you're going to have to move him to safety. And with a guy like Woolen, it made it easier for Vic Fangio to say back up the safety. And now we got all pro at safety and all pro at corner. Like we already know, that he's only moving there in base, right? But I'm telling you, if Woolen has the season that we want him to have, you heard Vic Fangio talk about wanting this guy before. You heard about him out there making plays against locking down Smitty right now. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a young cat that has a lot of room to grow. In the right system. He's been known for man coverage, but now he's understanding the zone side of it. And I think that's going to take his game to the next level. And when you pair him up with a Quinyon Mitchell, Guantanamo Bay, where every receiver gets put in, he's
Just to throw something in there, man. The man is 6'4".
Yeah.
I mean, he got basketball. That's basketball height.
40 or something like that at 6'4".
Yeah.
Whew.
I mean, they talk about like his wingspan and they talk about his quickness and his agility. So, what that does is when you're playing a receiver like Dez Bryant and you're playing the George Pickens of the world, hey, it's easier to recover because like you got to think if you got a 5'10", 6-foot corner versus a 6'4" corner, the arms. So those tip balls. I mean, you think about this, just like with Fangio and the way that he draws up these blitzing schemes, he's going to be put in positions to use his athletic abilities. And that's what I'm excited about. Like, if that defensive line can if they're halfway decent, man, I'm telling you that defense is going to be nasty this year. I am telling y'all, this is going to be a top 5 defense for sure. I am confident, even with the loss of the Kobe Dean. We're still going to be fine because we got Jahad Campbell coming up. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes, but just watch out for the defense this year. For the Gregs.
And listen to Woolen talk about it.
What are your impressions of Quinyon so far?
Real great player. I mean, even when I signed here, I had spoke highly of him, and it's still the same way, man. Great player, very smart, even better person. He's going to be an amazing father. He just had a kid, so I'm his brother, man. So me being here, it's nice to team up and just feed off each other.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Q having a kid. I didn't even know he had a kid. Hey, breaking news from Woolen, letting the Eagles Nation know that Quinyon's a daddy.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? He's a daddy. Salute to you like that. Welcome to fatherhood, brother. Welcome to fatherhood, because I like what you said here. Quinyon Mitchell said this here. He goes, I honestly feel like, it's the past. I'm not an all-pro anymore. New season. It's time to get back to business. You got to go out there and do the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's keeping it real with y'all. That was a cool season. But that's what I respect about the dude. Every single year, he tries to get better. And there's definitely still room for him to become even better. I know you say, hey, BG, how the hell are you first team All-Pro? Like, how do you get better from that? What his number one thing he needs to work on to get better is his hands. He needs to start pulling these interceptions in. If Quinyon Mitchell these interceptions in the regular season, I know playoff time, he's gonna get that pick. But in the regular season, he can go down as like Reeves Island, like Reeves Island, like where quarterbacks will literally fear throwing the ball in his direction. And when you got a guy like Woolen that got the speed, the size, he says, I believe Woolen's a little bit taller than Richard Sherman. And you've seen what kind of career Richard Sherman had in the right defense. And I feel like we have the same style defense as the Legion of Boom. We might be playing more. Like, people don't understand, like, we might be playing more base defense this year from the way our roster is set up. You
think about how hard it is, man, for him to do that as a rookie, as a second-year player. You think about what all he's accomplished in these first few years. Following the number one receiver as a corner is the hardest job in the NFL. It may be harder than quarterback. because the quarterback can sort of take a down off. They just hand the ball off, whatever. If you're going against the number one receiver, that week in, week out, you got to study film. You got to study footwork. You got to look at it. You got to look at everything about, like, I was watching a video on Deion Sanders, and he said he could tell you by the way that somebody lined up on what they were going to do, on what route they were running. Even 20 years later, when him and Ocho Cinco were playing around at the Super Bowl and they lined up against each other, he said, "You running a slant, boy. I'm already there. I'm going to run this route for you, boy. I'm running it for you, boy." You know how Deion got. And, so you think about Guantanamo Bay. You going on this island. Every week that island is traveling. I got Pickens. Okay, I got CeeDee Lamb. Okay, I got Scary Terry. Okay, I got Malik Neighbors. Okay, all right, I got Justin Jefferson. I mean, think about this. I mean, I would say the Bears receivers, but they don't have none, so, I mean, but, hope the Bears lose every game this year, by the way.
Visit Guantanamo Bay, and they're all lined up to visit Guantanamo Bay again this year.
Yeah.
That guy's a stud, man. Like, salute to him. We are very fortunate to have those three guys out there. I really feel like after this year, Coop's going to safety. You heard Coop talking about, Coop's been training his ass off. He looks real, pause.
Yeah, he big too. Yeah.
He's big out there.
And both of them.
He spun the offseason talking to Hall of Famer Charles Woodson, because Charles Woodson wanted the safety. He's picking the brain of one of the best corner safety combos ever. You know what I'm saying? There's been some good ones out there, but Charles is probably the best one out there. Malcolm Jenkins is another one that comes to mind, and I hope that he's reaching out to Malcolm because he's a former Eagle as well. But I really feel like that position fits him more. And if we got guys that can play slot corner, we got outside corners. That is the best position where you become the best and the highest paid safety in the game. I feel like when you're this young, like you said, it's hard for young players to be that young, second year, and all pros. Both of them, all pros. And it's not just all pro, first team all pros, my guy. That means you're the best ever. You're the best at your position. Yeah. First team all pros. Now you're talking about the Eagles scooting him more towards safety. Team all pro safety. You can still have Quinyon Mitchell, first team all pro corner. You can still have Reek Woolen, because I do believe if Reek plays good by week 6, he will be re-signed to this football team for some more years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Bird Gang 31 on all platforms. Birds Fan 81 on IG. Check us out. Follow us. We'll be dropping a lot of content. We've been dropping a lot of shorts as well. So y'all make sure to like and share those shorts. We put a lot of time into it. BG does a real good job, taking care of a lot of things in the background. So, show us some love out there. BG, we got to get Dale Pitt.
The only way, guys, to be honest with you guys, Delpit's good from Cleveland. I know what you guys. I've seen it. I thought about it myself. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. I thought about it myself, but it's a transition mode. Coop's going to be our safety, guys. Don't worry so much about that last safety spot is what I was telling you guys. You guys everybody's like, we got 21 players that are bona fide starters. And we're worried about this one player that's not a bona fide starter, but one of our all-pro players also plays that position. I'm telling you, this is part of this transition phase for Cooper DeJean. And he will move back. Act like if he plays safety, he can't cover slot receivers. There's a lot of good safeties out there that play slot receivers. So why go out and get assets now when you got a Woolen on a 1-year deal? Either you can re-sign him Or guess what? You got 2 first-round picks. Next year, you can trade up and go get the best cornerback in college football if you want to really lock it down to secure his spot at safety. I really feel like that's the direction we're going. Is Coop to safety. I don't think we're going to go spend no money, no draft picks, no assets on a safety this year. Unless Makuba sucks, which I highly doubt. Like, he had a decent first year. Injuries plagued him a little bit, but he made some plays. He got burned on some plays, whatever it is. He was a rookie. And I really feel like if he did what he had to do this offseason, he's going to lock down another safety spot. And then you got Coop and Makuba as your starting safeties moving forward.
And we also got to think about Fangio. You got to give Fangio time to work. Like, he's had a year with him now. He knows his strengths and his weaknesses. So we got to be patient. A lot of times as Eagles fans, we get impatient. We automatically want to write people off. We got to learn how to really be patient. And I mean, we got a new corner now. In base defense, Coop will play safety, which he did in college. So he's not new to the position. To be honest, I wouldn't even be worried about the safety position. Our defense going to be real good this year, IMO. That's at Carlos Rosado 9560. Shout out to you, Carlos. I agree with you totally. Carlos, how do you feel about while you're talking to us, man? While we got you, Carlos, how do you feel about the depth chart, the defense? As you look at the depth chart, as BG just mentioned, right here we got Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Ojomo. I don't know about y'all, but I'm confident in that. Like, I'm confident all day with those 3 players.
Thanks.
Now, the second, Byron Young, Zion Wilson, Ty Robinson. BG was hard on Ty Robinson, and somebody got to come around. But when you look at Nolan Smith Jr., Zach Bunn, Jahad Campbell, Grenard, hey, that's solid.
Yeah.
I mean, so you think about that right now. I mean, I think we're sitting pretty. Then, everybody's talking about the safety, Marcus Epps, Cooper DeJohn, Makuba, JT Gray. I mean, that's decent.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit up here and say it's like scary, but we know that we got 3 solid guys out of 4 in the secondary. So I think we just need to pump the brakes a little bit.
And people got to realize what made Blankenship so great that everybody's like, oh, it sucks that he left, is the talent up front. You think about the years our defense sucked and Blankenship was there, and the defensive line wasn't there, and he had to play a little harder. When you got a defensive line like we have, and then you throw in the secondary that we have in terms of cornerbacks, Woolen, DeJean, Quignon, that makes the safety's job that much more better. All you have to do is be a talented safety. And Makuba is a talented safety. So it should be a lot easier for him. We should start seeing Makuba look like CJGJ this year.
Yeah.
Down in front of him. Linebacker-wise, Campbell, baller, it's his year to ball out, He played good. Hopefully he got bigger, faster, stronger this offseason. But right now, while he's rehabbing, all you're hearing about is Jeremiah Trotter Jr. And I think if we go back to the draft, which we didn't have the Philly alert at that time, it was more, we were still on the truth. I don't know what happened to my other co-host, JC. I hope he's all right. But we were on the truth, but we talked about, Jeremiah Trotter being another star linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. And at that point, everybody's like, no, he's not good enough. We had Dean. We had Bond. We went and drafted Campbell. But from what I'm hearing, this dude's balling out. I know the pads aren't on. If you watch his season last year, when he got the chance to play, he played. Trotter was all over the field. So our linebacker depth is really good. Smolden, Trotter, the bull we just got. Our linebacker duo is really, really good right now. And Campbell, I'm telling you right now, Campbell, all I gotta say to you is I think you should be the guy, but don't let these injuries stop you. Don't be another N'Kobe Dean because I tell you, we do have a guy in the waiting that can take over your spot this year. And I think training camp, when we put the pads on, we're gonna really see what's up with Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Because I feel
And
like
the Eagles are not known for linebackers. Like that's not a position that Howard's ever. So that's like when he spent that money on Zach Bond, it sort of caught everybody off guard, because that's not a normal Howard move. Like when that took place. Oh yeah, I saw that. I'm from the days of Bubby Bristol, so it's not like linebacker is a position that we cater to like we do the offensive line and in the trenches on defense. It's not something that we really do. So hey, to be drafted for the Eagles to be drafting linebackers, that says a lot. In the first round, that tells you the type of player that Campbell had to be. And if you draft a linebacker in the first round, we're about to talk about in the chat, who's your breakout player for 2000 for this season coming up. And we're already talking about mine. It's going to be Jahai Campbell. And if you go look at his PFF rankings, he did everything last year right, better than N'Kobe Dean, besides rushing the passer. That's the only thing. Name a player right now in the chat, that doesn't get enough recognition. Who do you think is going to be that diamond in the rough? Mine is Jahai Campbell, because we're not talking about him right now. I really do think he's going to have a breakout year. Roll Tide, roll, baby. I'm an Alabama fan when NFL comes up. Jeremiah Trotter reminds me so much of TJ Edwards. Okay. All right, Greg. I can. So are you saying you think Jeremiah Trotter is going to have a breakout year, Greg?
He says Quinyon going to be Defensive Player of the Year. I feel it. All he has to do is get the interceptions, and he will be that guy. Just like Patrick saying, man, because he's to me, he's better. I might be a little biased, but he's better than Pat. But Pat does get picks, and that's where.
So besides Kenyon Mitchell, who do you think, Carlos? Like, who do you think would be another breakout player? I mean, we all know he's an all-pro, but we need somebody else to step up besides him on his defense.
For me, I'm gonna say our boy Tank Bigsby.
Okay, that's all right.
I'm gonna say Tank Bigsby because we all know Saquon's the bell cow.
War Eagle, that's right.
We all know he's a bear cow, and he's gonna do his thing this year. But we all want to see more Tank Bigsby last year. And I feel like you're starting to hear a lot of people talk about how his style of running, the one cut and go, is what really.
Yeah.
Now you heard even Saquon have to go talk to guys like what's the dude from the Rams name again?
Todd Gurley.
Todd Gurley.
Yeah.
About the one cut and go, because Saquon's a bouncer.
Mm-hmm.
Saquon can, he bounces, and that's what makes him so great too. But he wanted to really focus on the one cut and run thing. And I think, Gurley is a prime example too. What Gurley had, how many yards? I think he had a season where he had like close to 2,000 yards rushing.
Mm-hmm.
The Rams also like passing, receiving. And so I think this scheme, especially the Eagle being a type of organization that like to hold their star players, especially when it comes to the running back position to the end of the season, this is going to be a great opportunity for a guy like Tank Bigsby this year. I think he goes out there, he balls out. We get fulfilled with what we want to see him do. This is still going to be a run-first offense. Our offensive line is finally healthy again this year. And with a healthy offensive line, look what we got excited about Tank Bigsby for last year with an unhealthy offensive line. Imagine all the guys back. You guys seen the clips on X. You see Landon Dickerson out there with no knee brace on. I know it's OTAs, but no knee brace on. And he's feeling pretty damn good. Because before that, I've never seen Landon Dickerson out practicing nowhere with no knee brace. Usually got two of them on. So after that surgery that him and Jergy went over there and got, he's feeling good about himself. So that offensive line should be dynamic again this year, and that is the foundation of this offense. It doesn't matter about anybody else, Jalen, Smitty, Saquon. If they're hurt, we're toast.
803 Hitman, just to support you, he said Markel Bell on that offensive line is going to be his breakout player. So,
it's possible if someone gets hurt. It's also possible if they decide to move him to guard.
Or if they go big, because he might run some sets to where.
We did that with what's his name? Frank Johnson. The other
Yeah.
Johnson.
We
did that with Johnson. So Markel Bell could get some playtime.
Yeah.
Unless you're moving him over to guard. Which Steen's cool. If Steen got better this year, that's cool too. But I was even thinking that's your Brooks right there. Until Lane leaves, that's your Brooks. You go throw big Markel Bell in there. He's bigger than Lane. You let him go play some guard and bully people. We're the best. Our running game is the best when we're playing bully ball.
Yeah, that's on. That's. I mean, the run when we got a good running game, that's when Jalen Hurts is at his best. It's not that Hurts can't throw the ball 40 times a game. That's just not who he is as a quarterback. That's not just, that's not how he was made. He was made to use his legs, scramble, and he was made to make the right plays. That's just who he is. And as long as he's winning Super Bowls, you keep doing that, my brother.
Sweet spot's 25 passes for Jalen Hurts. That's your number, and you can get a lot of yards in that 25, passes. Running more play action is going to open people up. You hear Jalen's out there. He's willing to put his back to the defense with this new scheme. He understands the advantages of the scheme. All those that say he can't throw over the middle, that's been debunked already this offseason. He actually has a pretty high quarterback rating over the middle when he has to go there. Jalen's the best, man. And that's kind of moving into what we had to talk about. I know everybody's stop talking about AJ, stop talking about Jalen. But that is another thing. WIP said that they don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be in the top 100. Listen to him.
Where would you guess Jalen Hurts comes in on the list this summer?
I don't know, man, because he didn't have a great season.
No.
That's a fact. And we're going top 100, right?
Do you think he's on the list?
Joe? Probably not.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie, and this is for all y'all that are probably talking about how you hating on the quarterback. You got to understand, it's not me hating. I'm trying to channel
the players
that are playing right now.
It's their vote, yeah.
And when you talk about being in the moment and thinking about people that are playing, you're gonna normally go with the guys who've had everybody doesn't watch like Kyle said the other day. Players don't know ball. You don't watch full games. You watch SportsCenter.
And you watch the film of the team you're going to play, right?
Yeah, you watch that film and you have a familiarity with those guys. But you watch SportsCenter. And I don't recall, a lot of times the way you feel about people is shaped on what you see on SportsCenter, because every time you go in the locker room, SportsCenter's on and you're watching it, whatever. And it's always talking about football. So if he's on the list, he's probably in the 90s.
My guess is I think he's going to make the list because there's a residual from.
Tua made the list.
Yeah, there's a residual because last year they had him at number 19.
Well, and players don't know ball.
We're finding that out. I think he'll be in the 80s or 90s. I think he sneaks on the list.
Yeah. Well, what's everyone going to do when Drake May is way higher than him? I was told
he'll be way higher.
But hold on. But Jalen played better in his Super Bowl.
He'll
than May
be
did.
way higher.
But
May's going to be top
on.
15 or 20.
Did you see Jalen outduel Patrick Mahomes?
That wasn't this past
year. Oh, that's.
I'm just making sure we're on the same.
Okay.
The crazy thing is, with this offense, Jalen won't really have to chuck up the ball downfield as much as we'll have more yards because of more yak usage this season. I see 4,025 yards, 30 touchdowns, and 10 rushing touchdowns. I like that. I like that. Shout out to all you guys. We got 60 up in here. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that follow wherever you are.
Sir.
Share this content everywhere. Hype it up. Do all your good stuff that you got to do. That begs a question to you. He was 19 last year on the top 100, and this is all from your peers. So, with the respect that you know Jalen has in the NFL, what do you think they're going to rank him this year?
I mean, he has the respect, but the media controls the narrative. So, I mean, I think he'll be in the top 100. I think he's still well respected. I don't know where he'll be, because last year,
yes,
I mean, we'll say 50 to 60. And the only reason being is because they're going to go off of the last year. But if this was done before AJ's foolishness came out, it's not going to be a fair take. I mean, because if AJ Brown doesn't have attitude, we don't know what this offense could have truly been last year now. But I think he'll be between 50 and 40. I'll say between 40 and 50. Like he'll be somewhere in there. He can't be in the top 20 because, I mean, to be honest, he didn't play. He didn't have.
Like, I look at things like this, dude. There's only 2 quarterbacks. Is it only 7 quarterback ever? And 2 quarterbacks to ever win your conference championship that are playing right now. There's only 2 quarterbacks, him and Patty Mahomes, to win the conference championship. So that means all your favorite quarterbacks ain't did what he's done. To be only 2 when you got 32 quarterbacks, man, like, and in a back down season where your top receiver was sabotaging you all year long because he didn't want to be there, and your offensive coordinator can't make adjustments after his initial plan starts to work, and your offensive line gets decimated due to injury, and you were 19th last year on the top 100, to be honest, you can't get past 30. You can drop them, but with all those big key things factoring in, you still won your division, you still had 11 wins, you still went to the playoffs. Every single time you've been a quarterback, you went to the playoffs. Your history says it all. I don't think he needs to drop under the top 30 people, man. Like, for real. Like, I really still put him in the top 20. I know he's 19 last year. I know that's going to drop a little bit. That's why I said top 30. But you can't. He's still a baller, dude. He didn't have the year he wanted to. But I've seen plenty of people like Tua still make the list, and he was trash. So he don't need to go to the bottom 90. I don't even think he needs to go 40 or 50.
I want him to go as low. I want him to go down bad. That'll motivate him even more. Put him in the back. Put him out of it. That'll just motivate him more. And then he'll be right back in the top 5 next year. I mean, like, people can say whatever they want about Hurts, and I was one of his biggest critics. But after I really started researching, after you gave me the opportunity to come on the show, I really started looking at it. I mean, do you actually think Troy Aikman would be as good as he was if he had 5 different offense coordinators? If he had a different offense coordinator. Do you think Lamar Jackson? I mean, we can keep naming these guys. Patrick Mahomes has had Andy Reid. So do you think Patrick Mahomes if you swap Jalen Hurts and Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid is going to feed to his strengths. And I mean, like, but you think about this, Jalen Hurts has not had the same play caller since high school.
Chemistry matters.
For 2 years in a row.
Chemistry matters. For sure. Yeah. So, and that is another huge thing that it kind of breaks the point of even arguing about it. You can't argue Jalen versus anybody, really, because Jalen's the only one dealing with this. Jalen's the only one that's had 7 different coordinators. Jalen's the only one that has no consistency, since he's been in the league. So your argument kind of is already debunked when you realize that, like you said, Patty Mahomes has Andy Reid, Eric Bieniemy. I think Eric Bieniemy just went back there. So maybe you're talking about 3 offensive coordinators in his 7-year career. You
Yeah.
know, Lamar Jackson had pretty much the same offensive coordinator, Joe Burrow, all these cats. They all have like the same schemes, the same every year. To me, that makes him better than those quarterbacks because he still keeps winning
What you call it?
throughout.
Josh Allen too. You know, they just fired their coach, but he has sort of been with Josh Allen, and they had the same system in place for a while. So, you know, it's a real difference. Like, we didn't play football, and you're going from running like a shotgun to being under center, or if you run it like, you got to learn everything is new. And, you know, we talked about this before, but those cadences matter, man. Like, somebody may say orange, another person may say blue, another person may say green, another person may say mad dog, another person may call it 2112.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, so, you know, somebody may call it cowgirl. You know, I mean, like, you know, I mean, those cadences, man, they matter. So for him to be this successful, you know, I don't see him falling off. Super Bowl MVP. What's up, Eagle?
Yeah,
Looking at the chat here.
They won.
Oh, what's happening?
We got a New England coming. We got a New England coming. You know me, I'm supporting the Eagles by making more Eagle fans, man. Making more Eagle fans. Shout out to you, baby. They also said, since we're talking about the top 100, what do you guys think about Q and Coop? What do you think they rank being all pros for the first time? If you have to say, how high do you think these guys are going to rank?
They'll be high.
Top 10?
I mean, like, yeah, they top 20, top 25. I'll say top 30. I mean, like, top 30. I give them both top 30.
Both top 30 players in the NFL.
Yeah, they got to be top 30, man. I mean, because everybody knows, like, that Eagles defense last year, even not even being healthy, they were very good. That's how we stayed in the games.
Facts.
I mean, in the playoff game, it was a defense. They did all they could. Herbert had 3 coordinators and still can't win a playoff game.
Facts.
Make that 5.
Yeah, man. Jalen, man, he's about to have the year, man. If I had to say Q and Coop, though, you gotta put him in the top 20 for sure. Like, that's never really been done before. To have 2 cornerbacks play the same position and both be first team all pros.
Oh my
God. I think like hard. I know the Eagles never did it. You know, and we've had some good pairings. If I had to guess one to do it, it'd be the Eric Allen, Troy Vincent day, or Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor days. I don't know if both of them made the Pro Bowl at the same time. But that'd be the only thing remotely close I could see. Lito Shepard, Sheldon Brown, I think maybe they made a Pro Bowl. But first team All Pro, I don't think that's been done by any Eagles, to be honest with you. So, in terms of the league too, like what other cornerbacks would you put ahead of these guys? The only one I can really think of would be Pat Surtain. He won Defensive Player of the Year. He didn't drop off after winning the award, and that's what shows you a good player. You know, some people win these awards and the next year they drop off, and he's definitely didn't drop off. So I could say Pat Surtain. We're talking about cornerbacks. You know, I know people want to say Stingley, but I feel like Q is better than Stingley. I think DeJean might be better than Stingley. Stingley's a baller too. So if you're talking about the top 3 cornerbacks, if you're going to go in the top 100 for all positions, cornerback's pretty important. You gotta be like top 15. You know, I think
So
Q could be like 15. DeJean could be like 19 this year.
So last year, number 20, Amaron St. Brown, then Jalen Hurts at 19, Stingley at 18, Dexter Lawrence at 17. We got Fred Warner at 16, Jared Goff at 50. Jared Goff at 15. Hendrickson at 14. Penny Sewell, the offensive tackle from the Lions, at 13. Chris Jones at 12, and TJ Watt at 11. So that was 11 through 20 last year.
He said Surtain and McDuffie better than. They saying they're better than Q and DeJean. Like I said, I give Surtain. Duffy's good too, but I don't know. I can't honestly just say he's better than Q or DeJean, really. I really, the crazy thing about all these guys is I still feel like Coop's better than Q. You know, it sounds a little crazy. Y'all might get mad at me for saying it, but you can't get mad because they're both on our team. But Coop does it all. You know, he's in a slot. He's playing a run game. He's playing deep. He's getting picks. Like, he's doing all of the things you want him to do. You know? Now, Q does follow the number one. Doesn't get no picks. But he locks him down. So I can see why you feel Q's better. But I think they're both right there, man. They're both like the same. Like, if I had to go, I would vote them the same, you know, moving forward. And I know that's not possible, but, you know, obviously Q's going to get more love for, you know, locking down number ones. But DeJean should get more love because he not only does he guard number ones too. Like, when we play like the Cowboys, if Q's on, you know, Pickens, guess what? Coop's on Lamb. You know what I'm saying? And he's locking them down too. You know, he's still locking down star receivers. He's locking down star tight ends. He's locking down the run game. And he's getting picks. So, I don't know. I think that they both should be up there. I think Q is a great player. I think DeJean's a great player. And I can't say that I believe McDuffie's better than either one of them. What about you?
I don't know, man. McDuffie real good. I'll take either one of them. I say, man, I like Q more than I do Coop. I like Coop, man, but Q, man, like you can just let him travel all day long. Like, you let him travel. Like, you facing again, man. Like I said earlier, bro. Quarterback one in the NFL.
Dang. The defense has been setting up. He's kind of been locking down at number one. But I think last year was the first year he traveled. And he didn't really have to because they bumped out DeJean to the other cornerback spot. So
but he was still like in big games, like he was traveling for the most part, if you remember. Yeah. You know, in big games. Last year Q had a PFF grade of 80.3 and Cooper DeJean was 77.2. So really that's the same thing. Like 77.2 and 80.3. That's just a couple of like
the bump up though, because you don't really hear it. Hey, shout out to Grand Zaire. Where you been, my guy? I haven't seen you in a while. This is the Philly alert, and it's
what's up, brother?
81. You know what I'm saying, my guy, my brother. Make sure you recognize that name and go subscribe to him and follow him on all platforms as well. It's like saying that, like we're saying it right now, and he is better because you gotta say he's better because you're guarding number one. But like I said, Coop does all that too. But he also gets picks, and he also stops the run game. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't really hear nothing about Coops in the run game because he's always guarding number one receiver. So that's the only reason why I kind of give a little bit of an edge to Coop. But I think once you move him to safety, though, it'll be really apparent to know that you got the best safety and the best cornerback in football.
Question: how confident are you both in this new Eagles O-line coach? Was this an in-house hire? I don't know much about him. I'll tell you what you do. Go watch the Lane Johnson interview from today, brother. On Grand Zaire 12. Lane spoke very highly of him. He reached out to some other coaches, and he actually said that they spoke highly of him as well. If we talked about this probably like 2 months ago, how he came from he has a background, and I'll pull it up right quick. He has a background of some prolific offenses. So we're very confident. Very, very, very confident. Definitely not an in-house hire.
Yeah.
This was well thought out. This was planned. They brought in a couple of candidates. They did not want to make the wrong hire because they realized that the whole culture was changing. And when you're losing a Hall of Fame offensive line coach, you just can't replace him with any type of piece of trash.
Facts.
Like, we're not talking about a special teams coach here. You know what I mean? Like, we're not talking about just like the cornerback coach that studies the film, that's basically just doing dirt work. No, we're talking about like they hired a guy.
Yeah. And like you said, Lane talking big about him. He's done his work, you know what I'm saying? He was a former player, and like he understands that we're running a new scheme at the end of the day. Ain't no sense to keep anything. It's like out with the old, in with the new. New scheme mean new coaches mean new ways of life. No one's still prepared to see what the Eagles do this year. Like I really feel like it's gonna be that dramatic. It's gonna be that dramatic of a change in a positive manner. And I think they went out and got the best offensive line coach to make that happen. And you hear from the players, they're saying the same kind of thing. So thanks for generating another channel that goes live before yours. I'll catch your stream late, or I just save it for work tonight. Well, you're my head moderator first, so you should come back home, my guy. I don't know who you say go live before me. It better be a Dolphins guy, because I know you're a Dolphins fan. So it better be one of those guys. But you know what I'm saying? It's about the Philly alert, my guy. It's about BG. I love you. Come back home, my guy. Come back home. He says, they said, not an in-house hire. He says, why am I screen taking delays? I can't click on. Are you able to click on them?
Yeah, I got it. Sometimes it does that. I mean, hey, that's just that's part of what we got here.
Well, great chat. So far, always a pleasure. Always a pleasure having you guys, man. For real, man. Like we love you. We love every last one of our followers and every last one of our fans that come support us. And we want to do more things to get you guys more involved. Like I think maybe even next week or one of the next 2 weeks, we're gonna do a call-in show so we can hear your side of things, because we got a couple of OTA practices that then go straight to dead zone till training camp. That's about a month. So we want to hear your take on this whole off season, this team, who you guys want to see be productive. I think you said that you want to see, who'd you say you want to see again be productive this year? Who's your guy?
Jahad Campbell.
Campbell.
Yeah, Jahad Campbell. I'm telling you, man, he's gonna be all right. I'm not. He may not be an All Pro, but we're definitely going to see why. We got rid of the Kobe Dean. Like we're gonna see why we got rid of the Kobe Dean. Like he was on track to be Defensive Player of the Year, and if you remember last year when Jahad Campbell, Nick Fangio admitted when he benched Jahad Campbell, he messed up the chemistry on the defense because everything was clicking. If you remember, he was making plays in the run game and the pass game.
Oscar, straight up, that's what's up. Because I'm a Cowboys fan, but appreciate real honest talk. Hey, now you know what's up with that, man. Salute to you, my guy.
Yes, sir.
Cowboy fan, he just loves to talk, man. That's what we try to bring. We try to bring you real intelligent talk. We're older guys. We've been watching this game for a while. We've both been playing the game. We kind of drop it at you at a different level than a lot of other people out there. But salute to you, Cowboys. I can't give you no real positive about your team. But at the end of the day, we definitely support you and salute you for watching us. He says, right now was shocked long-term Eagles coach either quit or retired or other. He he retired. He retired, right?
Who is that, Styler?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
retired.
he retired.
He retired.
Hopefully he'll come back and take some type of position because they made that man mad. I don't know what they did, but you talked about that. It wasn't no, hey, thanks Philadelphia. I love you guys. It was like, I'm out of here, man.
See you later. The disrespect is real. Nah, for real, we did him dirty. And as an Eagle fan, man, we did him dirty. Like I feel like we did.
Yeah, we did, man. We did.
Appreciate that as a fan, but the show must go on because like we're not coaches fans, we're not player fans, we're Eagle fans. At the end of the day, you gotta deal with that and know that sometimes some bullshit is gonna happen. Because I'm not, ain't no San Francisco creator on live, you and all the Eagles chats.
That's what they need to be at. Hey, this is what champions do here. When the last time the 49ers won a championship? Tell me that. When the last time? Let me pull that up. Hey, next week I'm gonna
he laughing about it too. He laughing about it. And you Niners, one of my best friends is a Niner fan. Every year he's calling me about Niner. He just called me the other day. He's like, did you see the Madden stats? The Niners are ranked 91 overall. The Eagles are 90 overall. We got, 5 players in the top 20. You guys got like 1. And I was like, yeah, but we win playoff games and win Super Bowls. We won 2 since the last one we won.
See, that's the problem with 49ers and Cowboys fans. Y'all live in this fictitious world called Madden. Madden does not count. Nobody cares about Madden. We're talking about reality here. We're not talking about some video game where you go out there and you create your team and you run the same play over and over again. What happens on Sunday? What happens on Thursday night football? What happens on Saturday? Now, y'all did beat us in the playoffs, but that was a fluke. Only reason the 49ers beat the Eagles in the playoffs was A.J. Clown. If he wouldn't have dropped that ball, we would have went to the Super Bowl. I'm gonna say that now.
He dropped
He dropped the ball. He dropped 4 balls that game, man. He dropped that ball. He dropped a Christmas present, man, in a bread basket, 2 bombs. I mean, that was it made my blood pressure go up.
AJ Brown for that win, because y'all were handicapped in the game, and I don't even understand how that was remotely possible that we lost that game.
Conjoined twins.
I did a damn video, and I was pretty pissed off about the situation. But let's pass. We don't talk about the past no more. Like, he said San Francisco and Dallas are like the joint twins. Back. That's crazy when you look at it like that here, man. That's crazy. They are kind of like the joint twins.
Oh boy.
Guy to think about. In 1995, 96, we were the shit. You know what I'm saying? And remember that year? Won the Super Bowl, went to the other team, went to the Super Bowl. Like, they had the best, teams back in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? But we are in 2026, man. It's like, can we really give you that anymore? Like, how long you want to give it? That's what I always say when y'all talk mess to us. I'm like, if you're going to go back 30 years, you might as well go back fucking 60 years and give me those non-Super Bowls and give me those championships, because that's how far back I'm going to go. I'm going to go back 60 if I got to go back 30. There's a question here. Way too early prediction. Which NFC team is the biggest threat to the Eagles this year? Rams, Niners, Seahawks, Bears, Giants. Oh, I'll let you answer this one.
Oh, that's a dumb question. That's the Rams. They got Myles Garrett, man. I mean, that's it's the Rams, man. Like, they ready.
They are ready. I ain't gonna.
They scared. Like, I mean, you add Myles Garrett, you replace Verse with Myles Garrett. It's like the rich getting richer. I mean, like,
I was thinking, like, a lot of people were talking about that move, and you kind of went sideways because Miles Garrett's the best defensive player, hands down, better than Verse, right? But Verse is pretty much like right there. You know, if you talk about top 5 defensive ends, Miles Garrett's number 1 versus at least 4 or 5, like in the league. Like he's still putting up big numbers.
yeah, but the impact on the game, bro, like it's totally different. The impact that Verse has on the game, man, versus Miles Garrett, man, it's no comparison there, brother. I'm sorry. You put Miles Garrett, he was balling out with the Browns.
He got a new nickname, V8, baby. He got a new nickname in Cleveland, V8. That's his new nickname. He's a V8.
Hey, man. I'm just saying the Rams because they picked up Miles Garrett. I mean, like, and they still got Matthew Stafford, and they got the 2 corners from the Chiefs. I mean, man, they know what they're doing. I gotta give them their respect. I mean, it's on you now, man.
It's hard to go against the Rams choice because obviously, like you said, they are really. He said Hitman says Rams hands down. I'm gonna be the other guy. I'm gonna go Giants. Because guess what? The only way to play the Rams in the playoffs is by making it do your division first. And if y'all hear me talk about the Giants this offseason, I think they're coming in second in the division behind us.
Hey, man, no. You said that before Scatterboo was out there doing backflips and playing in a celebrity softball game, not 100% healthy. He not even at OTAs. Malik Neighbors out here for the Giants playing at a celebrity baseball game, and he hobbling around. He just had his knee. He just had his knee scoped, and this young man is out here playing. Now let's talk about this. Let's talk about Jackson Dart. His own organization didn't even know that he was going to introduce the president. They found out 30 minutes before that he was going to do this. They didn't even agree with it. So you talking about the Giants, and hell, they starting quarterback don't even have a clue on what being a man is. He don't even have no responsibilities. Like, he don't even know what accountability is, bro.
Political things in football out the way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even going to entertain their political in-house battles that they have over there. You know, that's y'all beef, that's y'all problem, and I don't even know why you're worried about it because none of that have to do with football. But in terms of football,
it's got everything to do with football. What you talking about, man? AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts, we just got finished going through this crap in Philly. Like, that's what caused the toxicity in Philly.
And their team is much, much more improved than they were last year. I know everybody wants to hate on OBJ, but y'all don't look at the other side of that OBJ thing, the Burrow trade, the Darnell Mooney trade, the likely over there. Like, y'all don't look at the other side. It's yes, Neighbors the number 1 guy. We didn't even get to see him last year, and they beat us, without Neighbors. Now they're gonna have Neighbors back. They got OBJ, who doesn't have to be the OBJ from before. He just got to show you that flag football OBJ where he can make catches in the right situation to score touchdowns. Darnell Mooney, one of the best underrated receivers, from the Atlanta Falcons, likely one of the best tight ends, that had, Andrews ahead of him over there with the Ravens, but definitely one that has the opportunity to be, a number 1 tight end, which is good. I think Johnson was on their team. You know what I'm saying? Johnson's on their team. They already had a good tight end over there. So they got some weapons, my guy. Their offensive line got a little bit better, and I really feel like you gotta win your division again. And look how long it took for a division winner to win back to back. 04. We're in 2026. It took that long to go back to back for any team in our division. Meaning every year, no matter how good the team was, their team was expected to do it again the next year, and it did not happen for like 22 years. And we done did it. And I really feel like we're going to go 3-peat on the ass this year. But at the end of the day.
Hey, you're talking about the Giants. I believe you Giants. Out of all the people in the world, you say.
Because I feel like in our division, it starts off with your division first. You can't look ahead past your division. And in our division, I feel like they're the biggest threats.
Okay. Jalen Carter still got burst chain.
I bet he does. Rocking it too. Rocking it.
I keep hearing that the Seahawks will be sneaky good again this year, and that is where they like it, being in the shadows. I do hope Eagles versus Seahawks this year.
I can see that too. If the Seahawks come back this year and do what they do. He said turmoil in the locker rooms for the Giants. I know, man, but that's like minor off-season bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like once the season get around, you even heard them talk about, just because they don't like it don't mean they're gonna put it on the field. They got some pass rushers over there in New York too as well. So I'm just saying don't sleep on those boys. But it's a question. Could the Eagles have made the trade to Myles Garrett, assuming they had the cap space? And who would have been the Eagles player to trade him to the Browns? Or do the Eagles not need Garrett? Okay, listen, what happened with that was the Eagles were in talks with Garrett to catch you up on speed. But they wanted Jalen Carter. And that's what I told you guys. The only way we can get Garrett, we have to trade Jalen Carter. So the Eagles are putting their stock in Jalen Carter over a Myles Garrett. Do I agree with it 100%? Not really. But I understand it. You drafted Jalen Carter. You want him to be the best. You're going to go give him a little bit more time. He was hurt last year.
And you're going to give up a lot for Myles Garrett. Like the Rams gave up a lot for him too. And Howard wasn't giving up that much. Howard's not giving up that much.
Part of it wasn't a problem. I just think the player part of it, because people don't realize, like, they gave up, they were offering Jalen Hunt and Nolan Smith, both your young pass rushers, both of them. Like, we give you both of them and some draft picks.
Yeah, but are they like, nobody want them. Not for no Myles Garrett.
Superstar on defense. To get a superstar, you had to give it. That's why they gave up Jared Verse, one of the best defensive ends in the game. So,
yeah,
I would have did it personally, because I'm one of them Eagle fans. I'm not too emotionally attached with anybody. I won't win Super Bowls. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my goal. I want to win as many Super Bowls as possible. It was so long before I even got to see my first one. I've already experienced 2, and I want to see more. And the Myles Garrett makes sense for the next 3 years to win at least 2 more Super Bowls. And I think the Eagles pass on that. You know what I'm saying? So, but I still think we're good enough to win those Super Bowls. But I do feel like it would have been a lot easier trajectory if you added a guy like Myles Garrett. Do we need to go get Crosby? I don't know.
No.
Like, I think the defense is good. We got Grenard. If everybody's so hyped for him before, don't mean, saying we need Crosby now that we got him. So I want to see what he got. These young Bulls understand Jalen Carter's in the contract year. Jordan Davis just got paid. I think that defensive tackle room is set. And I think, you got to see Jalen Hunt. I heard someone say this on Twitter today that they think Jalen Hunt's going to get double-digit sacks this year, and I hope it happens, man. You heard him talking this year. He's talking about, working on moves. Instead of working, like Jalen Hunt was like so fresh and raw, he was just trying everything against people last year. And now he's understanding that he needs to work on 2 or 3 moves that works consistently and perfect those 3 moves. And that's how you really get to the quarterback. So he's learning better. And, the sky's the limit for Jalen Hunt. I think he will eventually will be, better than what's the other one? Nolan Smith. I think he's going to be better than Nolan Smith. But I do think both of them on the team collectively will help this, defensive line move forward.
Yeah.
So
I got to get out of here, man. I just got an emergency call I need to make. Let's close this out if we can.
All right, well, let's get it done, man. We pretty much went through everything. You guys let us know what y'all want to talk about, next week. We'll check the chat and find out what you guys say. And, it's OTAs, my guy. Like, hopefully we hear some more good stuff throughout the week. I think I might be live again on Thursday morning. So you're early bird Eagle watchers, check me out Thursday. I will be live Thursday morning. And, we're going to see what happens the rest of this week, man. A couple weeks away from being out there, so y'all can get a lot more content from us. And also let us know what you like about these 2 new clips before I play them. Any last words from you?
Nah, man, fly Eagles fly. It was a great show. Grandizer on 12, whoever that is, man. Make sure you come on early next week, man. You know, hey, that we want to talk to the chat.
#1 moderator, and I hope he comes back.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even if we got to talk to you, Grant, like maybe you can go off and on, maybe come back and forth being that guy. So
Appreciate it, 803 hit, man.
Fly Eagles fly, go Birds. We love you all. Hit that like,
Yes,
subscribe,
sir.
follow, share, hype. And check out my little animation I did. You know what I'm saying? Like we working on some things here this year. Here we go.
Steve Lloyd joins us in the studio now.
Philly, sound the alarm. From Broad Street to the Link, from the row homes to the roaring parking lots, the city is waking up in midnight green. The lights hit, the siren spins, the beat drops, and stepping through the smoke comes the voice of the fans, the energy of the streets, the boss of Bird Gang himself. This is not just another Eagles show. This is where passion gets loud, takes over the block, and flies straight through game day. We talk touchdowns, we talk trenches, we talk big hits, big plays, bold predictions, and every moment that makes Philly football different. When the helmet shines, when the crowd rises, when the whole city starts chanting, you already know what time it is. The host is locked in. The fans are locked in. The Birds are on the move. From every celebration to every breaking moment, from every matchup to every message for the league, this is the place where Eagles energy lives. So turn it up, stand up, throw that green on. Let the city hear you. Because when Philly talks football, the whole world gets the alert. Welcome to the Philly Alert. Bird Gang, let's fly.
Steve Lloyd joins us in the studio now. Steve, Philly Fever live in